All right, so we're going to go ahead and start our session. Look at this beautiful one person, Krista. Hey, Krista. And this is her partner out there, and they are showing you the lovely, lovely, beautiful mountain sites of, where is that at?
It's just off the highway, heading up towards the White Mountains. It's the perfect time of year to be in New England, and apparently they call it peeping. I just learned that this year when you go and look at the fall foliage.
Well, it is stunning. What a great adventure up there. And let me tell you a little bit about Krista, because she's going to guide us through. She's actually a returning Tactical Tuesday speaker. She's on the FOA, does a lot for the community. So we're thrilled to just have a small bit of her time today with us, really kind of continuing that conversation on Black Friday. So this is a series 3. Today, we're going to take it. I know we've talked a lot about customers and how to communicate with customers and language. We've had some great shares by Nina Casello. We had Jen Detola last week. Today, Krista's going to kind of give you a little bit more about the things that you want to make sure you do not miss, things that she's learned about Black Friday sales, but also some new elements that they are adding to their sale this year. So we're thrilled to have her up north, as she brings 6 years of Sylvan experience. Like I mentioned before, she was a teacher, then a director of education. So she really does have that educator heart with her, which we love. And then an owner, 3 years into it, about 3 years.
3 years, October 1st. So recent 3rd-year anniversary.
Fantastic. And hey, Krista's team, if you are out there, Erin and everybody, Megan, we're thrilled to have you back out there as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So I don't want to make anyone feel old, but I do want to, if you remember an old VCR, like the old VCRs, not your channels, clickers, but the old VCRs where you would fast forward and you would rewind. Today, we're going to start by fast forwarding a little bit into the future, because I think this is a key thing that you've already done. Tell us about fast forwarding to a post-sale meeting.
Yeah, so get it scheduled now. No more than 2 weeks after the sale. Make sure that you're meeting with your team to do a debrief. And when we meet, we focus on 3 broad questions. I ask my team what worked from the sale, what didn't work from the sale, and then what could we do differently in the future, and just kind of allow the conversation to evolve from there. Make sure that you take notes, because a lot can happen in a year. So I oftentimes find myself going back to those old director meetings and looking at the notes from that debrief, because we're making adjustments every single year in terms of our sale, and it's largely guided by those conversations during the debrief. Just a couple of examples of adjustments that we've made recently, including ones for the current sale, is if you attended last year's Tactical Tuesdays, you may have remembered our doorbusters as kind of a play on the Black Friday mega sale. And our doorbusters were at the end of the sale. So obviously created a lot of excitement and aligned with a typical Black Friday sale. But we found in practice that the families that are most likely to take advantage of the steepest discounts, which is what those Black Friday doorbusters were, they were our current families. They were families that were already committed to us. They bought into the vision. They knew academically how many sessions they needed. Maybe we have multiple kids enrolled, and having those families wait until Black Friday to actually lock in the savings, imagining that, it's the holidays and those families are busy. It wasn't really working for us. It wasn't working for those families, and it was requiring kind of a lot more follow-up throughout the month to secure those doorbusters than what we needed. So this year we have changed things so that our biggest savings are at the beginning of the sale. So calling it like an early harvest for the first week of our fall sale, so that we can lock in those families that are most likely to purchase the 180 or 200 session packages. Plus, getting those big packages in the first week, early win, boost morale, really helps in kind of building that encouragement throughout the rest of the sale, and getting those families that are ready to spend. The other change that we made this year is we rebranded our Black Friday sale as a fall sale. That also came from director input. I need my directors to feel really good when they're talking about our sale and what it means for our families. And we've always run our sale or run our promotion a lot more like a customer appreciation sale. Celebrating families' commitments to finishing their programs, moving forward with the next academic goals. So we rebranded this year and we're calling it a fall sale. For marketing purposes, I've used the customer appreciation resources. And if that means that my team is excited and feels really good talking about the sale, then happy to make a change like that as a result of our debrief.
Yeah, I think it's so important, Krista, that you're recognizing, gives you a chance to not only recognize the efforts of your directors, but get the feedback when it is most, on their mind, because believe me, you will forget different things. So let's talk about your timeline as well. It goes really fast, although it seems long. Seems like we've been talking about the sale for a while, but let's go ahead and talk about your timeline. What can you give us in terms of insight with that?
Yeah, so my biggest piece of advice is to work with the time that you have. As Nina said, we're coming up on, or we just celebrated our 3rd year anniversary with owning our first 2 centers. And so for us, we took over existing centers October 1st. And I remember my director saying, okay, what about Black Friday? I'm like, okay, what about Black Friday? Because we didn't necessarily have the same timeline or plan in place that we've had the luxury of doing for the 2 years since then. So work with the time that you have. Make sure that as you're not just thinking about this sale, but thinking about next sale, because you're going to run a sale next year as well. Make those RTA and care calls just a part of your center culture. So as Jen said last week, if you attended that Tactical Tuesday, if you are talking to families about the fall sale as a great way of locking in a savings and making an academic plan for the rest of the year, then your families are just going to get used to that. They're going to start asking about the sale. You're priming them to think about the sale. And you're giving yourself a little bit of grace then during the busy time leading up to your actual sale. So in terms of that timeline, what we've learned and what we focus on is making October our RTA push. So schedule those updated initial assessments, especially for the second half of the month. Make sure that you're getting those ECs in early, since these are families that have already bought into Sylvan once. And so getting them to recommit is it's an easier conversation. And these may also be good candidates for those bigger packages to secure at the beginning. Relatedly, make sure that you have spots available for those updated assessments or for in addition to assessments for new inquiries. I was just talking with a family yesterday, and it was an RTA family. They enrolled in a smaller academic coaching package or homework support package for us. But in talking with the mom, she realized that, you know what, my younger daughter could also use some Sylvan, struggling in math. I booked an updated assessment for later this week. We're going to get in her enrollment conference and already have an OC scheduled for the first part of our fall sale. And I already talked about how we can use that fall sale to make a plan, not just for getting to the next test or getting through midterms, but for helping our daughters academically for the rest of the school year, and even making a plan for the summer. So just making that a part of your culture.
Yeah, and I think reminding us again about that assessment, because those assessments certainly can take time. So making sure that you have that in your schedule. That's great, Krista. All right, let's do a quick rewind, or what my children would say is go back. You have, I know that you guys are doing a lot of emails and texting conversations. All of these things are being layered in and happening during your sale. And I know you look about 2 years back at Test Not Yet Enrolled and RTA customers. So give us this quick tip on cleaning our data.
Yeah, so I these Tactical Tuesdays, the marketing team, all of the Sylvan Ways, lots of communication around, using all the great marketing resources that the teams put together, getting your emails scheduled. But you need to make sure that the database that is being used for sending those emails is clean and accurate. For us, we typically focus our email marketing around the RTAs, the TNYEs, the INTs. And so I need to make sure that I have for any enrollments, I have end dates in if that's appropriate, so that that family moves from a current enrollment to an RTA for the purpose of the different databases and customer categories. And the other thing that we focus on in terms of looking at those RTAs is looking at, why did they disenroll in the first place? Because that may impact the tone or what we want to focus on for any sort of RTA research, outreach, not research. So for example, was it a family who disenrolled because of financial reasons, budget reasons? Then we want to make sure that we're focusing our conversation around finishing what we started and hey, isn't this great? But now it's even more affordable than ever. Versus maybe it's a family who finished that first academic goal. So we're using that outreach for the fall sale to focus on making a plan for the next program. My director team is wonderful about focusing on the goals. What are the family's academic goals? And that can oftentimes help, because if I have a family who completed a Sylvan Sync reading program, maybe we're going to talk about writing next. Maybe we're going to talk about study skills next, so that we can be aligning the sale with another academic goal that they had communicated to us.
Yeah, great tips, Krista. Let's breeze through as we hit play here. Talk to us about how you keep your team on the same page in those basics.
Yeah, so as my team knows, I consider Labor Day the unofficial launch to Black Friday / fall sale planning. And so I always put together this kind of guide for them around, why are we doing the sale in the first place? Of course, increasing student enrollment, cash revenue, re-engaging those families that left or disenrolled or didn't get started for any number of reasons, retaining those students through their entire LOS. When is the sale occurring, so that they can be working on their sides to map out time for those assessments, for those RTA calls, making sure that they have time available for enrollment conferences shortly after those assessments. And then who are we targeting? Who can participate in this sale? It's kind of set up like an invitation. So it's like you're inviting your team to the sale and answering the who, when, why questions. And it just provides, like I said, that structure so that they know who they should be focusing on and why we're doing this. Yeah, and Nina just put up our one pager also. This is another one of those requests that came out of a sale debrief. So while we do have the more glitzy marketing flyers available, and those can be great to provide just high level information of what the savings looks like. One of the requests that came out of a debrief call was having a one pager that kind of gets into the weeds of what the savings look like. So this is our sale this year. And to create that one pager, we just strip out the who, the why, and the when information, so that when we're in a conference, we can very easily communicate. And in many ways, the directors have said that having information like this makes the sale feel a bit more legitimate. It's not just something that they're coming up with off the fly of, what do the savings look like? And for us, we do honor all of the different payment options, including YTS. And so we have that breakdown at the bottom also of what the savings looks like, and then what options would be available for the different YTS terms. We do primarily the 0% interest, and so that's what that particular table is based off of. So it just provides a lot of information, but also transparency in exactly what our sale is about.
Yeah, I think I love this piece, one, because it shows the difference. It gives, like you said before, thoughtfulness to the sale. It's not just something that happens and you just had for Black Friday. You've been really thinking through it. And of course, I love the idea of having YTS. So use your payment calculator, put your packages in there, see where they break out. I think it's a great idea. All right, so those are some of the things that Krista, and her team have learned that have been really helpful and involved from her meeting. So let's talk a little bit about some of the new things that your team is doing. So tell us about how you're using that technology to support your directors.
Yeah, so I'm a huge advocate for technology that can help increase efficiency and can help to automate things here and there. So we've always used, of course, Facebook, Nextdoor, Google My Business in order to get information out about our fall sales. So we want to make sure that we're getting the information into our parents' hands as quickly as possible. And plug for marketing as well, that if you check off those options in the request form, the marketing team will post the special to your center website and to Google My Business on your behalf. But the other thing that we're using a bit more this year than we ever have is ZipWhip in promoting our sale. Less so from a marketing perspective, but more so from I want families to be able to get information about the sale if they're interested as soon as possible. So we utilize keywords in ZipWhip. I have a keyword in our voicemail messages. So if a family gets our voicemail, directors are in conferences a lot. I want them to have a word. In our case, we use welcome, that they can text the center. They're going to get just a little bit of information about next steps, the importance of personalizing their students' program and having that conversation, that one-on-one conversation with the parents, so that we can get all the information that we need. But then we also have built into that a keyword for our fall sale that they can text, and it will take them right to our center website that has the sale details. So they can get that information also as they wait for a director or a member of our staff to follow up in terms of that inquiry. We also utilize text to pay, which is integrated with ZipWhip and allows us to request and collect credit card payment through ZipWhip. And so for that, we have templates ready to go. We have a fall sale template so that as my directors are in those enrollment or OC conversations, the family's like, I'm in, we can quickly set up that template with what their savings is, how much they're purchasing, and can get that sent out. It provides a secure link that's good for 7 days also. So if it is a family that it's like, I think I need the night to think about it, get that sent out. They'll have the 7 days and you can always follow up with them. So it just allows us to do more quickly without as much follow-up or admin on our side.
Yeah, I love the urgency part in terms of using the ZipWhip text for sure, so they can text welcome. This gives you a little bit of an idea of what the text is. I think we're going to put some of those templates in there. She also uses it for Google reviews, right? So you can beyond, absolutely. So text harvest, remember that for next week's Tactical Tuesday, everyone. It's a little bit. So when this is the messaging that they're using in terms of getting the information to families very quickly about Sylvan. She mentioned personalizing all of those pieces, and then text harvest to get the scoop. Krista, I think you're going to take us out.
Yeah. You want to see how it works?
Yeah, let's see how it works.
All right, I will take over screen sharing then. All right, so I'm going to text the center. So listen to the voicemail. I'm totally in. I want to learn more about Sylvan, so I'm going to go ahead and text welcome. It should show up in just a moment. It has on my side. Oh, perfect. So I sent a text to my Weymouth Center, texted welcome, a little bit of information. Thank you for reaching out. Our programs are personalized to the student, so a member of our team will contact them. But I want to find out more about this annual fall sale and how I can save 10 to 30% on tutoring packages. So I'm going to go ahead and text Harvest next. And look at that. So like instantaneously, I get the next text. I can check out the sale details. And so I can go ahead and click on that link. And I may need to just pull it over into the other screen. There we go. Nina, can you still see it? I forgot if I shared just an application or my entire screen.
You just shared the application, but I'll take it back. Yeah, I was going to say I can take the screen share back because I think I have your website up.
That sounds great.
All right. Going to try to do this. Boom. All right, so this is what you just saw, right? The parent texting it. You got to see it from the ZipWhip. That was awesome, Krista. Thanks for showing us. So they placed there's our customer appreciation sale. Beautifully done. For sure, hip, hip, hooray. And then you'll notice it is on their resource page as well. But it also goes on special offers when you work with the marketing team, right?
Yeah, it goes in special offers. And then anything that I can do to drive traffic to the website is positive. And so this was a tip I got a couple of years ago from I think Claire in marketing, who said, if you want to put something or link something to the center website, just put it in resources. So that way I can link them here, and they don't just get information about the fall sale, but we put our school year schedule on here. So this is a place that we do keep up to date with resources that families may be interested in.
Yeah, fantastic. Great job, Krista. All of these things are really key. Love the usage of ZipWhip as well. In the chat, Erin did put the link to her FOA session side by side, which gives you a little bit more about that text to pay if that's something that you're interested, but all the details are in there. One of the newer tools that is kind of also evolved, right, Krista, from the marketing department is this social grab and go. So tell us how you're using this one.
Yeah, so Sunday, I was all set to sit down with a Word doc and map out my language I wanted for our social media campaign. Pulling different GIFs or images, and I went on to Mark and found this great grab and go resource. Where our goal has always been with social media that we're aligning the messaging with what's going out via email. So I want that when the teaser is going out via email, I want to tease the sale on social media, so forth and so on. So this is a fantastic resource, and kudos to marketing for creating it, where you can tweak the language a little bit, but I was able to come in here, decide what dates I wanted different posts to go out. I could pull the images straight out of Mark, just using the links. And we use Facebook Business Manager. So I already have all of our posts scheduled out for all 4 centers. So I'm automatically feeling like I'm ahead of the game a little bit with the sale, thanks to this resource.
That's awesome. All right, check out Mark. Again, lots of great things that you need to be really thinking about, making sure they're on your to-do list, and you're already planning through. Most of you are probably planning through these pieces. The bigger piece really comes kind of when the sale starts to happen. She's already talking to families. The directors are already talking to some families and getting a good start here in the next couple of weeks as well. Talk to us about momentum and really moving your team forward during this fast sprint.
Yeah, as you can see, I've never met a Bitmoji I didn't like. So my poor team is subjected to this the whole sale. But I know that during the sale, they're very much in the weeds. So they're focusing on one enrollment conference to the next, one ongoing conference to the next, making sure that we have everything together for the 4 assessments that are booked that day. And so my role in keeping up the momentum and keeping them motivated is to give them that big picture. So I am always keeping track of our our cash collected per center, just pulling those resources right out of Hub on usually a daily basis, maybe every other day, depending upon where we are in the sale, so that they know how they're doing, celebrating those successes as centers achieve certain milestones. And the last year was an interesting year. So 60 grand per center was exciting for us since we weren't quite sure how COVID would impact things. So make sure that you're calling out those successes, make it fun, throw a Bitmoji or a GIF into the mix, and really make sure that you're celebrating your team as they're hustling through the sale.
Yeah, it is certainly a hustle. I love these emoji people too. I'm a fan of those. They're so cute. And I just love the fact that, you're there for your team, you're keeping them motivated. So if that is your role as a franchisee or your role as, a leader of your sale and in your center, keeping everybody on track is going to help you reach your goals together as a team. That's fantastic. So Krista, as we continue to wrap up, tell us a little bit about your best advice. We have directors out there that have perhaps new to the sale or last year. I mean, you just, jogged my memory by saying COVID, right? We didn't forget that easily. But so it's a little bit different this year, but tell us kind of your best advice for directors.
Yeah, my best advice, especially if you're newer to running a Black Friday or a fall sale, is to invest the time in the prep. In past years, we have been using this time to really get our call scripts tight. So what is that language that we can use to talk about the sale and the savings with those different populations? As I said, it's going to be a different conversation for that RTA that disenrolled because of budget versus disenrolled because they accomplished their goal and they were really excited about it. So work on getting those call scripts tight. Schedule out your calendar. One thing that we've historically focused on when we're looking at that calendar in the sale is, are we setting ourselves up for success by having all of our OCs scheduled and having them scheduled in such a way that families have that time to think through what package is right for them? Because investing 6, 7, 8, 10 grand in tuition, it's a different decision than buying the big screen TV at Best Buy. And then, of course, utilizing those resources that are already available in Hub. So if you cleaned up the data, being able to, as you can see up on the slide, setting up your discounts or setting up your sale in Hub so that it's easier to track as you're pulling the data and seeing how your team's performing.
Yeah. Fantastic suggestions and things and actionable steps that everyone can take for sure. Everybody give Krista some kudos in that chat. I know our team's out there. I think we got to most of the questions and there were certainly lots of comments out there, but we are thrilled to have you here. Of course, on our side-by-sides tomorrow, we're going to be doing a little bit more sharing of best practices. We're going to be taking a look at the Hub Helpers document. If you don't have a calendar yet, that is on SLC Link as well. You can use that. We've talked about scripting the last couple of side-by-sides. We're going to leave that one out, but we're going to focus on just some sharing and some come with questions. If you haven't had a Black Friday, join our side-by-sides tomorrow for sure. We'll be here at 12 and 2, and you can register for those in Sun. A quick call out with this last minute that we have, and we're going to go ahead and put the survey up here in just a moment as well. Black Friday local email request form reminder. So, hey guys, if you have a 30-day sale, your deadline was yesterday. So unfortunately, we don't have a rewind button on yesterday, but our marketing department is certainly ready to help you out. So you can still submit. Just make sure you get your stuff in as soon as possible so that you can get those on the schedule and really feel good about your plan and communicating with customers as well. So just a quick reminder of that. So they would love to have that request form from you as soon as possible. Got a couple other deadlines coming up, but make sure you take a look and don't forget about Mark. She mentioned about the grab and go guide as well. So Krista, a fabulous job today. I'm going to go ahead and put everybody's exit ticket out of here today. Everyone else, thanks so much for joining us. And I will kudo Laura's comment. Yes, you rock. And thanks for the demo as well. We didn't plan on doing that, so that was really cool. All right, we'll head out. Thanks, everyone. You guys have a great afternoon. Thanks so much, Krista.